What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another MJF Motorsports video. And as you can see, we're in a little bit different of a setting, and it's definitely not race time yet. So you're probably wondering what's going on right now. But before we get into that, there are a couple things that I do want to say to you guys. The first thing I want to say is that it's been an amazing couple of years being here with you guys, taking you along with me to the track, running passes for you guys, and everything in between. I know that I only get 100 to 200 views on my videos, and some of you may think that that's not a lot, but the way I like to picture it is if, 100 people were up in the stands or 200 people were up in the stands rooting just for me, I'd feel like the most popular driver in the world. Every single time I've posted a video, and the support has been amazing, and it's been an amazing 2 years with you guys. But the fact is that sadly, things are going to be a little bit differently. Things are going to be a little different. And the reason for that is because I've actually moved down to a different state. I've moved completely out of state, so I won't be racing with the family anymore. We do have a family member who is going to continue the racing, but that's the reason for the change of the setting, is I'm actually out of state, no longer going to be racing with you guys. I wanted to record this video to give you a massive thank you and, say goodbye to all of you guys. It's been one hell of a ride. I've had a lot of fun. And hey, I wish I could say I'd see you guys on the track, but that's not happening anymore. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass it to the person who's taking over the channel. He's going to be recording for you guys the passes at the track, still going to get those videos out for you, and probably a little bit different content depending on what he's going to be posting. So his name is Wyatt. You've seen him a couple of times in the videos prior. And he's going to be taking over the channel, and I hope you guys have fun with him, and I'll see you guys later.
All right, guys. So as you guys just seen, Jimmy's taken off, and I'm going to be taking over his channel for him. We're still going to cover all of the drag racing. I'm also a big fan of Crystal Motor Speedway, so we're going to get a little bit of that going. I know he's covered some of Jimmy Gallagher's racing before. We're probably going to tie in a few more racers if possible. We'll ask them first. And then I thought about throwing in some of the mechanic side of things too, as I like to build cars and four-wheelers and snowmobiles, and I'll even do construction stuff if you guys are into that. So introduce you guys to what we call El Chapo. I did not name it that. It's a sticker that's on the windshield. You can't see it. It's covered in snow. The previous owner named it. It is a 1979 Chevy El Camino on a late 90s Chevy half-ton chassis that's been chopped and shortened. It does not have motor and transmission at the moment. I have a 406 cubic inch small block Chevy engine that I plan to put in it. It is mostly assembled. The rest of the parts are on the way. I will be doing videos of finishing the engine build, getting the tranny and T-case all mounted up and dropped into the car. It did come with drive shafts. I need to figure out a fuel cell and finish some of the interior. I'd like to change the seats, as it has makeshift bucket seats at the moment, but with me being 6 foot tall and this being a 70s El Camino, my head likes to hit the ceiling. So by the time I put a helmet on, I'm not going to be able to sit comfortably in the car while drag racing or driving down the road, as this one is going to be street legal. I do not have a different set of tires yet, so if any of you know where I can get preferably a set of paddle tires, I do have a set of 16-inch rims for this vehicle. So anybody that's got paddle tires for 16-inch rims, put it down in the comments. I would really appreciate it. And if you guys bear with me on the mess here, guys. This is what I was racing last year. This is a late 80s, early 90s Yamaha Warrior 350 4-stroke that I picked up a set of pedal tires for real cheap. I threw a new sprocket on it, trying to up the gear ratio, give it a little bit less top end, a little more takeoff. We did all right. I think I ran low 7s with it last year. I plan to do another gear change on it. I'm actually going to give it more top end speed, less takeoff out of the hole, because it seems to have enough power as it is right now. I'd like to just race the El Camino this year, but we're gonna see how well everything holds in as I'm putting a rebuilt engine in it. Manufacturing on parts is not what it used to be, so, and I'm using a used transmission, unknown condition. So, as we all know, things could go very south very fast. And this is my son's four-wheeler. He watched me race last year, decided he wanted to get into it. This four-wheeler has a Predator 212 on it, currently with interchangeable gearing. I, however, am going to do a little bit more modification to it. We're going to put a torque converter setup on it, and switch it back to using the actual Teo rear sprocket, giving it a little more top end speed, and with the torque converter he'll have variable speed and plenty of power out of the hole. So, being that he's 8 years old and first year drag racing, I figured it would be a good setup for him. Obviously I can modulate the throttle and control his top speed and all of that, as they have a I do not remember how fast they can run at the track, but there is a limit on it. Obviously safety is everybody's first concern, so we don't want him breaking that. Not that I think this four-wheeler could break that anyways, honestly. It'll be fast, it'll be a riot, fun, and get him into racing. And then once he gets better with that, maybe we'll upgrade into this in a year or so. So that's going to do it for this intro video. Racing season is coming up quick. Crystal Motor Speedway has released their schedule. Greens has released their schedule. I'm going to look into Owasso Speedway and see if we can get their schedule as well. I know some people prefer asphalt racing over dirt. Not usually my scene. But I've heard Owasso Speedway is bringing some pretty big things out. So maybe we'll get into a little bit more of that this year. And throw a few of those videos out there to see how they do. And if they do good, we'll keep covering it. If not, we'll find what else you guys like. So feel free to like, share, and comment. Also, please subscribe. We noticed last year that we had a lot more views than we do subscribers. So if you guys are watching these videos, please give us a like and a subscribe. It really helps out. One more quick thing. So in the midst of editing this video, getting it ready to release to you guys, I'm sitting here editing and heard a thud on the porch. Exciting. The thud that I heard was FedEx dropping off parts. Not exactly go fast parts, but they are parts that are required for getting my engine and drivetrain assembly ready to go into the El Camino. So we picked up a one-wire alternator, GM. I prefer the one-wire alternators, as so that was a bit of a learning curve. And this is all a budget build, guys. So, you know, no negative comments or anything like that, please. We are definitely balling out of budget, as some would say. So none of these are super high-end parts. They're the best that I could get and afford, and I do plan to upgrade the El Camino as I go. I would like to eventually get it to a point where I can sell it and get into a 3+3 cab square body Chevy pickup. I've always preferred those much more than El Caminos or any other vehicles. And if you guys have any builds, please feel free to throw them in the comments. I always enjoy seeing other people's builds. Any questions, comments, concerns, throw those down in the comments as well, and I will gladly give my input if that's what you're looking for, or just to share it with the car community. So we also picked up a harmonic balancer for the 400, as the 400 is externally balanced, unlike a 350 small block Chevy that is internally balanced in most cases, not all cases. Oh, what else do we have in here? I believe there is also a water pump in here. Bear with me. Yes. Max Cool pump. Small block Chevy. Long pump. I do not know the significance between when you should run a long water pump or a short water pump. I know the only difference between the two is obviously one sticks off the block a little bit further. There's more of a gap between the back of your water pump and your timing cover. If anybody knows the significance behind that, or if it's just GM made two different pumps for two different applications, if anybody has any info on that, throw it down in the comments for me and other people to learn. And a pulley kit with new brackets. So the engine that I'm building was basically a basket case when I picked it up. So it was already disassembled when I picked it up. It was a bare block. I cleaned it up a little bit, honed the cylinders out, measured the cylinder diameter, found out it was already bored 30 over. There wasn't a ring ridge at the top, so we felt it was okay to just hone the cylinders and slap new rings on the pistons. I did measure the ring gap. I believe, if I remember right, they have about 22 thou clearance between the ends of the rings while in the cylinder, which, based on what the research said that I was looking up, that is completely okay. It might be a little more than some prefer, but you definitely don't want your rings to touch, and I would like to eventually, finances permitting, put a nitrous kit on this vehicle. So I've never played with nitrous. I've always been pretty curious and wanted to try it. So, worst case scenario, we blow it up and start over. So just a little addition to the intro video that I have for you guys. Like I said, I was just editing the video and these parts happened to show up. Like I said earlier in the video, sorry to repeat myself, I'm not good at filming and all of that, kind of camera shy if I'm being honest. I will be doing videos on installing all of these parts. I know they're not performance parts. None of the parts that I have left are really going to be performance parts because the engine's already assembled. I will get you guys the specs on what camshaft I put in the engine. Even though it's going to be a drag racing vehicle, I have nothing to hide. It's not going to be a top tier runner by any means. If we pull off a first place, it's bracket racing, so it's not about who's fastest, it's who's more consistent. So I know the camshaft that I got does require, I believe, at least a 2200 stall converter, which I had one left over from when I used to race street stocks. So I don't know the exact stall on it. I'll have to look at that when I go to put the transmission in. What else performance wise? I bought a cheap Edelbrock intake, dual plane, similar to the one that we had on the race car, to put on the engine. Set up for 4-barrel carb. We have a Holley 4-barrel. I will have to look up the part number to see what CFM it is. It come on another engine that we bought. Like I said, these are all budget builds, and when I say budget build, I don't mean the ones you see on TV that are, oh, it's a budget build, and ends up costing them 10 grand to put in the motor. No, this is, I don't know, I think in the end we might have 2 grand into this motor, maybe, and it's been 3 years in the building, so definitely taking some time. And if the engine build videos don't do well with you guys, then we'll move on to something else. And if they do really well, we will definitely try to do some more. So that's going to do it for this video. Like I said, please like and subscribe. Questions, comments, concerns, put them down in the comments, guys. Either me or Jimmy will read them and respond to you guys as needed. And if you guys have your own builds going on, please feel free to share. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Get your backside, trackside. We'll see you guys soon.